It's Madden NFL 22 on EA Sports. And the question is, are you ready for some football? It's the Ravens and the Raiders on Monday Night Prime Time.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Las Vegas, Nevada. The atmosphere here, electric. No matter the venue, the home folks love their silver and black. They are fired up as their Raiders get set to face off with the Baltimore Ravens. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. And Charles, we look at the Raiders here entering play. They've been playing their best football of the year. Winners of 4 in a row.
And the offense last week, they had things humming. If you're a defensive player, you may get overshadowed a little bit, but you're really buoyed by what your offense is doing.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Ravens, they're hitting their stride of late. Winners of 3 of their last 4. Of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. And we will not see a run back on the opening kickoff. This will be a touchback. Number 8, Lamar Jackson, trotting onto the field at quarterback, ready to lead this Ravens offense.
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well, won the ball game. Bottom line, may not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
Play action. Now Jackson. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And the defense loses him. It's complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A big play that time through the air. 33 yards.
I think that typically we expect teams to save their home run plays for later in the game when they feel like they have an advantage over a defense. But in this case, they thought they had the advantage right away and took the shot on the first play of the game and completed it successfully.
Throwing now, Jackson on first down. This one complete to Christian Kirk. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. For Kirk, there's a peek at the numbers in last week's game. 7 catches, 103 in the yardage department.
And he was able to get open there, but that's not always easy against this bunch defensively. We are deep enough into the season where numbers count. This is number 1 rated defense in the NFL. He'll have a tough time.
Off the option, here's Edwards. And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. Second down coming up.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Well, for that being an option play, there really weren't too many options available for him, were there?
No, there weren't, and at least he was able to get back to the line of scrimmage, so they didn't lose anything, but you're exactly right. Nowhere to go.
The 22 is the line to gain here on 3rd down. Throwing is Jackson. And that is incomplete.
Well, the dive up that time on defense just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
Now the Ravens bring out the field goal unit here. From the left hash, this from 46. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And the Ravens strike first at 3-zip. In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
Taking it about the 1. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. So here comes the Raiders offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by a Heisman runner-up during his college days. It's the versatile Jalen Hurts.
Well, he did go 2-2 in the last ball game. Well, actually, he went 2-2-1, with the 1 being the victory.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line there. But wasn't it funny at practice? He threw one when we were watching, threw an interception, and the defense got on him a little bit, good-naturedly. But they're letting him know, you got to cut down those interceptions. We can't bail you out all the time.
Yeah, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. But as you said, they got the win in that effort last week. A check on Jacobs from a week ago. 19 carries, 71 yards, and a touchdown.
And that's 10 touchdowns on the season for him on the ground. And remember our meeting with the coaching staff, they did share with us that one of their goals for the year was for him to get in the end zone at least 10 times. And that ramps up into their bigger goal to try and get 20 overall as a team.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Here's Hurts to throw. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Odafe Owe able to run him down for a loss of 12 that time.
And this is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket and not let him get to the perimeter, because once he gets outside, that's where he can really hurt you.
And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long.
Right here, right here. Mike 40, Mike 40. Oh, you got it?
Hurts. He's got Smith here. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
That ain't working.
Looked like the screen pass was taken away there, but what a nice job improvising, finding other options, and completing the pass anyway.
On 4th down, A.J. Cole comes on to punt. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Muscles him off. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. Baltimore set to take over here for their 2nd possession of the game. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. They'll start with the option. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And the Raiders pick it up. There he goes left side. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return for 6 and a Raider touchdown. So the defense forces the fumble to get the score. And a guy on defense becoming offensive there, Charles.
And you know they love that. Any guy on defense loves to pick up the ball and have it in his hands and try and score himself. In this case, that's exactly what happened.
He'll be singing in the shower post-game. Now for the extra point, Daniel Carlson. He's got it. They'll see that opening drive field goal and raise it a touchdown, and that makes it 7-3. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there. Grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And let's just say they're going to be looking to start over on this drive. A few moments ago, they were in the exact situation, but their first play led to a fumble that was returned for 6.
Yeah, you definitely have to have a short memory to play.
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Well, I mean, Lamar Jackson, what more can we say at this point? He is a living, breathing highlight reel. And go ahead and tack on that last play to the list of big ones by number 8.
I think defensively, when you look at a play like that, that's when everyone looks at their teammates and starts shaking their heads a little bit, because now you're wondering, what are we in for? Worked all week to try and limit the big play ability that he possesses, and he winds up taking one to the house in the very first quarter. That was a tremendous run.
And he covered a lot of ground on that one, as evidenced by the final total there on Next Gen Stats. Tristan Vizcaino for the extra point. And it's through, and that makes the lead 10-7. One of the shortest drives you'll ever see. One play, 75 yards, 6 points. Taken at about the 1. And he returns this to the 22. Second drive of the game coming up for this Las Vegas offense. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Yeah, let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play.
That too. Defensively, he has been a presence in their backfield in the first half. Had a sack earlier, and now he comes up with a big tackle for a loss.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Hurts sets up to throw it. Just a gain of a couple there. And that'll make it 3rd down. Well, this defense for the Ravens, they were very strong in the win last week over the Giants.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35.
That was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. He finds his man, complete. That's Jacobs. Not much there, only a yard.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Throwing is Hurts. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
And a fake here. Direct snap to the up man. A little trickeration there, but it doesn't fool this defense. And the Ravens get the football back and in great shape. So here are the Ravens to take over on offense. They're on a 3-game winning streak and right now looking good in this one as well.
4th and short in this part of the field. You just notice special teams coordinators rallying the team saying, watch the fake. But Brandon, don't they usually say that on every punting situation?
Oh, yeah, they can be up 40 in the 4th quarter. That's their job. They scream that every time.
And this time, though, his team locked in, and they were well aware that it truly was a situation that they could fake it, and they were ready for it and stopped it.
8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. Clock runs, less than a minute to go, and an entertaining first quarter of play. Here's Edwards again on 2nd down. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35. Now it looks like we've got a Raider here, slow to get up. We'll take a break and get a report from Vegas after this. First with Edwards, and he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down.
That's about what you would expect since they're so efficient at picking up 3rd downs in the top 5 in the NFL. It's all a mindset, and I guarantee you, it started in the offseason. 3rd down's important to them. They find a way to pick them up at a very good clip.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. From the gun, it's Jackson. Quick slant caught by Kirk. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
To Christian Kirk. A gain of 15. And a Raven first down.
10-7 our score after 1 right here on EA Sports.
Come on now, let's go.
Raven football here as we begin quarter number 2. As they've got it with a 1st and 10. Jackson going to give this one to Edwards. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Shaq Thompson on the tackle that time. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. Now a handoff, Edwards. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line.
He was taken down.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
And they'll try the option on 1st and goal. And they'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson with his 14th touchdown of the year, 2nd of the game. And the Ravens will add on to their lead. So the lanes continue to be there for Lamar Jackson to run that football. That his 2nd touchdown run of the game.
You know what I would like? I'd like for us to be able to go into a defense's room after playing Lamar Jackson and watch the tape and see how much of a lane was really there and how much he created just through his talent. In any event, Lamar Jackson finds the end zone, doesn't he?
He always seems to, but that's a good point. We sometimes put blame on the defense. Maybe we just need to praise Lamar Jackson a little bit more. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. They trail by 10, 17-7 as they come up on a 1st and 10. Off the option, here's Jacobs. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up second down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Strong right. Strong right. Hey. You got 3. You got 3. 3 down. 3 down.
They will run out of the gun with Jacobs. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Let's go.
The Raiders on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. Looking to throw. This one complete to Jalen Waddle. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35.
Yeah, these are the types of plays they're going to need to hit on if they're going to get back into this game. It hasn't been the greatest of first halves, but this is a nice throw here on third down, and they keep the drive going.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Here's Jacobs from the gun. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. Malik Harrison on the tackle.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
40's a mic. Drop deep.
On 2nd and 9. Hurts. They swing that out wide to Jacobs. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. It'll go down as a gain of 6. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down. Trying to run for it with Jacobs. He pushed forward, but I don't think it's enough. He's going to be about a yard short. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play. But when you do call quarterback sneak, you don't mind if your quarterback's a little bit on the vertically challenged side, do you? Because he's just going to hide behind his big guys up front and be able to surge forward and pick up the first down.
2 first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Here's a handoff to Jacobs. A first down and more for Jacobs. And finally taken down at the 34. He's obviously a bit of a shorter running back. Sometimes when he goes up the middle like that, he gets lost in there, and then he pops out for 10, 20 yards.
I actually asked NFL linebackers if that was true. Do you actually lose sight of some of the smaller running backs? And all of them confirmed that that could be a problem. Think of it this way. 2 of the top running backs in NFL history, Emmitt Smith, Barry Sanders, both 5'10".
So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 34. And this time they're able to bottle him up as they'll stop him at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
2nd down, here's Jalen Hurts.
And this one complete to Smith. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11.
They'll set up a throw. Touchdown!
Devontae Smith.
His first touchdown on the year. And the Raiders have cut it back to within a score. Carlson on for the PAT. And this is up and good to make it a 17-14 game. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told.
And it ends with a Las Vegas touchdown.
Touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson.
And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback.
Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. After the long touchdown drive we just saw, you wonder if maybe that's taken a little of the wind out of this offense's sails because they had it going pretty good last time, too.
Had to sit over there for a little while, didn't they? You know, they were eager, amped up to get back on the field after just scoring, hoping to get the ball back quickly. That didn't happen, so I'd say come out, just kind of get started again. You know, doesn't have to be anything dramatic. Just get moving, get loose again, and see if they can get it downfield.
And he'll get this forward only for about a yard, as that's going to take us to the 2-minute warning.
A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now. We'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action.
Jackson's throw pulled in by Jefferson.
8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
And that is incomplete. But the pressure there on 3rd down, forcing the errant pass. 4th down coming up.
That could be the stop this defense needed to get them back on track. They've been pretty well dissected by the offense here in the first half. After that possession, now they know that they can compete with this offense.
The Ravens send their punter out now.
Jalen Waddle deep to return it.
And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And they call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10.
Time again to see Josh Jacobs and this Vegas offense operate.
And we checked the rushing numbers so far here in the Week 6, and the returns have been really good. Now, you're starting to hit that stride middle of the season toward the end. They're certainly hoping they can keep up this production.
They are, because one of the adages in the NFL is that defense travels and defense endures even in bad weather, right? You know what else does? A good running game. And people want that, especially as you head down the stretch. You may play outdoors in some nasty stuff. You're trying to get to the playoffs. This is the time to get it going. And individually, I don't think you should just think about 1,000 yards either. The bar has to be set higher with this beginning.
And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. They'll set up to throw.
Oh, not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure or do they play coverage on this down?
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. He'll drop to throw. Well, it's caught on the right side at Smith. And he's going to have just a couple here with a marker on the field as well. So in instead of giving them another third down, they'll decline it. Brings up 4.
Now, that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Lamar Jackson marching back onto the field. They've got the lead. He's a big reason why. Looking sharp so far.
And as we travel around the league, we see quarterbacks get it done in a variety of ways. But today's NFL does tell us one thing. If that guy doesn't play well, their team's not going to win. And right now, he's got his team in the lead. And
now they'll look to extend that lead. On 1st and 10, it's Jackson throwing the out route incomplete. That's Andrews. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Now Jackson on 1st down. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. From the gun, Jackson. That's caught on the left side by Kirk. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
2nd and 10. Now Jackson. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Early on, the running game's been working well, and the offensive line has been pleased by that. The thought process there, catch those safeties creeping up, trying to help against the running game. They tried to hit him over the top, unsuccessfully.
And that one a little too high as it's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, he leads the NFL in interceptions and nearly added to that total.
Got his hand on it, couldn't quite corral it. It's been a Pro Bowl-type season for him, and the term ball hawk really comes into play, doesn't it?
Yeah, I like that one a lot because teams want to avoid that type of a player, but sometimes you just can't. He just knows where the ball is.
And for the 2nd time tonight, his field goal unit comes out here. On the right hash, officially, this will be a 51-yard attempt. And his kick is good. Oh, he just did tuck it into the bottom of that left corner.
So that, Charles, a season long right there.
And you know who's really excited about that? The special teams coordinator, because he's the one who has to tell the head coach in pregame, this is where we trust him from. This distance, he can hit it, and he repaid that trust by knocking that one right through.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
From the 6. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Time again to see Josh Jacobs and this Vegas offense operate.
So far, been so good this season. Well on his way, as you see, to a 1,000-yard campaign. Is he almost having the type of year to where you say, let's let him get his and we'll control everything else?
That's one way to go about it. Personally, I go about it differently. I'm taking on the bullet. I've got to, because he gives his team an identity and confidence. And if we slow him down, now guess what? Everyone starts looking at each other like, who's going to make the play? Because he's made all the plays so far. So I have to go get him first. Build my defenses towards shutting him down.
Good luck. I mean, not many teams have been able to do it. We'll see.
Here's 2nd and 9.
Hey, check Mike 6. Hey, we got to get to the ball, team. We got
Back to throw here. He finds his man, complete. It's Jacobs. And he is finally out of bounds, but not before taking it down inside the 30. A big play there just before halftime.
Well, and this is where quarterbacks' passing numbers sometimes get a little bit more inflated than they should, because this is a short little pass, but it goes for big yardage.
Yeah, and we see this so often. There's excellent coverage downfield, so the quarterback makes a nice decision, just flip it out to the flat and see what the running back can do. Plenty of space to roam, and he turns it into a big play.
And you can see the distance traveled there after the catch on the next-gen stats.
So that changes things in a big way. Now from all the way down inside the 30, here's 1st and 10.
Play action. Here's Hurts.
Flushed out right. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down.
That was an interesting look there, because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them. And I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Ravens out in front. As we send you to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach?
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll get started up at Lucas Oil Stadium in the capital city of Indianapolis, where it was the visiting Cowboys who got the win on the road. J.K. Dobbins, a touchdown run in the victory. From there, let's head off and check out a second game. And they were victorious in that one over the visiting L.A. Rams. Russell Wilson, strong in the victory, as his guys run their record to 6-1 on the campaign. Finally, let's get right to the center of the U.S. map and check in on the Chiefs at home in Kansas City. And they were winners in that ball game over the visiting New Orleans Saints. Patrick Mahomes, 2 touchdown passes as his guys remain unbeaten. Next, they look at the next-gen stats for the Ravens in that first half, and it's been the running game that's pushed them to this lead at halftime. Over 100 yards as a team in those first 2 quarters. Meanwhile, for the Raiders, there's a look at what they were able to do throwing the football, and they'll need to get things in gear as they trail here at the break. With both of these offenses having their way, it's not likely they'll need to be doing a whole lot at halftime. But the defenses are definitely in need of some adjusting. And for the call of the second half, let's go back out to Brandon and Charles.
Yeah, Coach, certainly no shortage of action in those first 2 quarters. Definitely got to work on my touchdown calls, so we'll see how much voice I have left for the second half here. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. And, Charles, they trail here, though not really the fault of this offense.
No, they certainly did their part in the first half. But when you're in a shootout like this, you definitely want your defense to play better, but you know that's out of your control. All you can do, keep putting points on the scoreboard and keep giving your defense opportunities to make stops.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
A give, it's Jacobs off the option.
And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8.
Good yardage there on first down, exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making first downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your second down play.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. On the handoff, this is Jacobs. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
Yeah, they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield. for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
So in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11.
From the gun, it's Hurts.
Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Smith. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player.
We'll take a break and get a report from Vegas after this.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And he struggles to get a yard here, maybe a yard, down to the 31.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play.
2nd down, Jacobs once more.
And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped.
62 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 16 times.
Well, they're getting ready to go to work now in prime real estate after that last run. Found his spot and picked up nice yardage, didn't he?
But now he's got him knocking on the door of the red zone. They'll run on 1st down. Jacobs. And not much to speak of there. Maybe a yard down to the 20.
He's had success on this drive, but not on this play.
Finally, they bowed up defensively. I think they were determined not to let him take it pretty much all the way down the field.
Yeah, it looks like they handled their run responsibilities correctly this time. What we call them run fits, everyone was in the right place.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Josh Jacobs, his 11th touchdown of the year. And once again, the Raiders are back out in front.
Just a terrific run there, Charles, from a running back who is so compact and powerful, and that strength was on display there.
And as a former defender, I can tell you with certainty, those are the ones that have you losing sleep at night. I would not like to be in that film room on Tuesday going over that one. Just a pretty poor effort defensively, and it leads to a big play.
And the next-gen stats shows us the tale of how much yardage he was able to pick up after the initial contact.
Carlson now to add the extra point. And that will make this a 4-point game. A 10-play drive that time. And it was capped off by a touchdown run from Josh Jacobs. Throwing the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second half. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. A gain of 3, second down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Raiders call on a nickel set here for 3rd down. Jackson.
That's for Bateman, and it's intercepted.
Picked off near the 34. A great pick, nice return, but you know he's just beating himself up inside for not getting all the way in.
No doubt about it, because he had visions of end zone in his mind. Going to be the total hero, but we did see there the emphasis on it's not just good enough to pick it off anymore. Bring it back, get the yardage, and really help out your offense.
Time again to see Josh Jacobs and this Vegas offense operate.
Since emerging from the locker room at intermission, he's looked pretty sharp, hasn't he?
He's running in this 3rd quarter like he got the orange slices at the half.
He got the orange slices, not the carrot stick.
Oh, boy.
There was always that mom, wasn't there?
There's always that mom. Wasn't yours, wasn't mine. All right, they brought the carrot sticks. But this guy, orange slices. And
he's in. Touchdown, Raiders. Josh Jacobs, his 2nd touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season. And the Raiders take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in. And he's certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the numbers. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that pushes the lead up to 11. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson.
And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. The Ravens offense back out there.
And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10.
If these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
On 3rd down, Jackson. They're going for Jefferson downfield. And that's caught inside the 35. And he makes it all the way down to the 31. It's a big play there for Baltimore.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Now Jackson taps his forward jet sweep.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on it before he could get much out of it.
From the 27, Jackson. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. And they run with Edwards off the option. And Edwards trying to push forward, but unsuccessful. They stop him short of the marker. Calling no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
So 3 points, maybe not a grand prize at this stage, but it does get them back within 1 score.
It certainly does, because now they stay within shouting distance, so that means everyone on your sideline stays engaged in this game. They know they still have a shot.
Taking it about the 1. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. Offense set to get this drive started. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. 1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. Still going.
And this is going to be a Raiders 1st down as he gets it up past the 35. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done.
And these guys certainly are not hiding what their intention is. They're absolutely showing it. They're definitely not going to sit on this lead here in the fourth quarter.
So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 right at the 40. They run it with Jacobs. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
I know the game's not over, but there's got to be a sense of satisfaction right now for the guy carrying the football a bunch today. 99 yards, and he has enough time to go over the century mark.
Well, you got to give it to him again, right?
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. You're not worried about losing yardage here. You're not worried about any of that. You just want to get him to the promised land for every runner. 100 yards or more in a game.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Coverage was very good that time. A nice job to smother him as the ball arrived, and that ensured an incomplete pass.
And it keeps 6 points off the board. They'll need to get it to the 30 for a first. This is 3rd down. Now back to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
Carlson on for the field goal. A 56-yard attempt.
And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out.
So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx it.
After the made field goal, Carlson now sets up to kick this away.
And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. And Baltimore's offense set for this next possession. And the complexion of this one has changed a fair amount. That last field goal made it a 2-score game, so they need to get points out of this drive relatively quickly.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Throwing to start the drive. Jackson. Throw right side is complete to Andrews, his tight end. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Jackson from the shotgun. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? And some room to work. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40.
47 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 36. Play action. Now Jackson. Slings it to Andrews, and it's complete. The tight end has it. And Andrews lost the football.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
To Christian Kirk.
So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but if the other team doesn't get it, that's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Jackson going to keep it running right.
And he'll find his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Give him 3 on the keeper there, and it is second down. On the handoff, Edwards. And a nice pickup there. He gets about 5 down to the 4-yard line. So a decent deficit at this stage in the second half. 4-down territory?
No doubt about it. There's not a chance that he hasn't looked ahead and said, okay, if we gain yardage on this play, this is what we'll do going forward. If we lose yardage, this is the play call that I'll have ready.
The Ravens on third down. Lacking much success. Just 2 for 7 to this point. This time they face a 3rd and 2.
And that'll be taken in by Andrews for a Ravens touchdown.
Mark Andrews, his 2nd touchdown on the season.
And the Ravens have made it a one-score game again here in the 4th. Well, time to let those folks know who are tuning in looking for the late local news. And we may be a moment because we've got a game again.
And, partner, except for those on the West Coast where it'll be seen in its regular time, right? That's the way it works, doesn't it? But how about that? Big-time drive right there. If they're going to have any chance, they needed a touchdown there, and they went right down the field and worked their way into the end zone.
I guess the coach looked at the 2-point cheat sheet, said go for it, get it to a 3-point game, and they did it.
Yeah, and sometimes you just throw out time of game. You don't worry about that. There's just a feel sometimes in making that call, and he felt good about what he had for a 2-point conversion, and now they're only down 3 and feeling great about themselves.
Time again to see Josh Jacobs and this Vegas offense operate.
And as we peer at the numbers, he got off to a struggling start, but since then really found his rhythm.
And I think that comes together with not just the halftime adjustments, but just that quiet confidence. If you just keep doing the things you've been working on, eventually there will be creases. You know, find those gaps in the defense, keep working on them, and maybe what didn't happen very well for you in the beginning of the game, it starts to open up as the game moves on.
The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14.
Here's Hurts to throw.
That's caught by his tight end, Foster Moreau. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. Probably the only thing he did wrong there was go out of bounds, nursing this 4th quarter lead. You want to stay in, eat the clock.
Yeah, you got to love the effort, the catch, the extra yardage, but you got to know the situation. Stay in bounds, young man.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Throwing is Hurts.
It's caught. Smith. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up 2nd down.
You got it. You got it.
Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 43-yard line.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line.
Now we'll get a stoppage here for an injured player, and it appears to be Devontae Smith who's having some problems here. We'll take a break and get a report from Vegas after this.
The Raiders on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6.
They go play action with Hurts. And that will be incomplete.
Coverage was awfully tight there on third down. They actually closed off all the passing lanes, forcing the incompletion and bringing up fourth down.
On is the punt team now as this one sent away. 39 yards on the punt. Give him just 1 yard on the return. And we have reached the 2-minute warning. Jackson and the Ravens, here they come. Down 34-31. Just over 2 minutes to go. They've won 3 in a row, but they've got work to do if they want to get a 4th in a row as they come up on first down. Throwing now, Jackson on first down.
Completes this to Jefferson.
And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They come up on a second down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down the wire.
Now Jackson connecting with Andrews.
And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. That's what they need right now. Get the first down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
Here's Jackson. To the right side and complete to Jefferson.
And he'll go out near midfield at the 49.
Jackson.
And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete.
Ooh, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
Throwing. Jackson. Complete. Jefferson the target.
And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 38-yard line.
That's complete. Left side to Bateman.
And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown. And that's what they're gunning for on first and goal. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. He takes it across for the touchdown, and they've taken the lead late in the final minute of the fourth.
Wow, wow.
The call is to go for one and kick the extra point. And that will make this a 4-point game. So that drives 7 plays in length, and it's capped off by the Baltimore score. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
Taken in at the 3. And he won't quite make it to the 25. Jalen Hurts in this offense trotting back out.
And the passing game, I mean, look at the numbers. It's fallen off. When a team is struggling, sometimes you look at the quarterback. When the quarterback starts to struggle, who goes over and picks him up?
Yeah, that's always a big one, isn't it? Usually, there's a quarterback whisperer somewhere. And what I mean by that is, whether it's an assistant coach, whether it's one of his best friends on the team, someone that can get in his ear, get with him and say, all right, my man, what do you need? What's going on here? So always one person he can lean on. He's going to have to lean on that guy right now.
Now a desperation throw deep downfield.
And it is incomplete. Good positioning there downfield to break that one up.
That would have been a tough catch, but in this 2-minute drill, those are the ones you really hope your guys come up with.
Yeah, you don't want your guy to be able to take the out because it was a tough catch. You needed him to come up with that one because if he does, it alters the perspective of this 2-minute drill, doesn't it?
They'll look to throw. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Back-to-back incompletions, but we know this is definitely 4-down territory. Time not on their side. I don't think they want to try and get the first down in 2 installments. I think they got to go and get it right here, right now.
they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. And he's going to be brought down short of the first at about the 31-yard line. Down 4 late. Got to go for it here on 4th down.
Looking for Judy, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Deshaun Elliott.
And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. When you talk about making winning plays, that is a winning play at this stage of the game. To come up with that interception, huge.
I like how you identified that because most people think winning plays are the offense trying to get it done. In this case, nursing a lead, they found a way to make a play on that side of the ball and maybe finish things off.
A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
That's it, baby.
The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they stop it with 14 seconds to go in the game. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. They'll go option to the short side. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. And here come the whistles and a timeout with 7 seconds left. And they'll indeed take a knee. And now with 6 seconds remaining, they're going to burn their final timeout. And they will take a knee here. So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory. And it took a big 4th quarter to do it, but they were able to get the job done, and that's the bottom line.
No doubt about it. And let's face it, they had to be more than nervous in the 4th quarter. But a lot of that was their own doing. I think you observed during the game, their energy level just didn't seem to be there. But in the 4th quarter, somehow they dug deep and found that extra bit, right? That reserve tank, they hauled it out. Offense scored some points, defense held them, and lo and behold, they walk away with a win. Maybe expend a little more energy than they expected to, but they'll take it.
So for Baltimore, their good start continues as they get their record up to 4-2. And they'll return home next week to take on the Cleveland Browns.
Meanwhile, for Las Vegas,
the loss will drop them to 4-2 on the year. And they'll try to turn things around next week as they have a matchup in Cincinnati against the Bengals.